When it comes to complex number, one of the most difficult aspects of it is finding the roots of the complex number. So let's look at this example. Use the Frenchman theorem, I don't speak French, I don't know how to pronounce it, to solve the equation. Okay, so let's now move for a minute from a complex number. So let's say that was any other situation, w to the power of 2 equal, I don't know, 64. So how do I find w? I will take a square root of the other side, isn't it? So the same idea here, w will equal a square root of 4i, but we don't have any way of dealing with that. So we need to change that square root because we have the theorem, the Frenchman theorem, and that theorem has to do with the powers. And I know we can replace the root with the powers, isn't it? We have that formula. Where is it in our table? Just to make sure we know. So this formula here is saying that if you have a root, you can change that to a fraction power. So that means it will be w for I to the power of a half. Okay. So that's the first thing. So how does it work? Well, first thing, we need to have polar form. Why? Because that theorem only works on polar form. So we change to polar form. How do we do that change? So our polar form include r cos theta plus I sin theta. So I need to do the calculation for r, which is the distance from complex number to 0, 0. And the formula is a to the power of 2 plus b to the power of 2 under the square root. Now that's formulas are not in your table. And then for theta, if I'm looking, that is tan to the power of minus 1, and then followed by a fraction of b over a, meaning that is the number that stands beside I and a being the real value. And then I have to remember about the reference angle. So I'm always putting that symbol so that I remember, okay, reference angle. So let's focus on doing first changing to polar form. So in our case, r will equal, what is the real value? We don't have really, if we don't have number in mass, we are saying 0. So 0 to the power of 2 plus, and then b, the number that stands beside I is 4 to the power of 2 under the square root. We put that in the calculator, we press equal, and we have 4. And then we are saying theta. So tan to the power of minus 1, value of b is 4, and that's when we are hitting a problem, because we don't have a, and if I was to put 0, we do not divide by 0. Okay, so what do I do? Okay, let's go now to our finding our complex number where it is. So if my real value is 0, then it's where here, isn't it? Because that's the real axis. And imaginary is 4. So actually, that's where I have that complex number w, isn't it? So that means the angle goes always, we count the angle from the positive side of the real axis, anti-clockwise. So we know that this angle is going to be 90. So actually, our theta here is going to be 90. So now we can write our complex number in the polar form, r being 4 bracket cos of 90 plus I sin, and then of 90 again. So let's not forget that is all of that is taken to the power of a half. So the next thing that we have to do, we have to write it in general polar form. Now what that means, basically we are adding to the angle, we are adding rotation of a circle, meaning we are saying that it could be more than just one rotation of the circle, 360, and then we are adding n to it because we are saying it could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3, depending the situation, isn't it? So that's us writing it in polar form. We basically add this value here. So now that we've done that, then the third step is actually applying that theorem, the Frenchman theorem. So how do we apply that? Oh yeah, let's not forget power of a half. Let's look at, it's the only formula in your table that has to do with complex number. So here this formula is saying that that power, the r, is taken to that power, and the angle is multiplied by that power. So applying that in our case, that means 4 will be taken to the power of a half cos, and all of that angle will be multiplying by a half. And now here we have option. We can do another line where we do that. Oops, I forgot about a half here. When we do that calculation by a half, or we can move to the next stage, up to us really how we want to deal with that. Okay, so now that we applied the theorem, the next step is replacing n with the number. So first we're going to replace it with 0. So that means 4 to the power of a half, and then cos. If it is multiplication by a half, what am I going to have in bracket? I'm just going to write it here. 90 multiplied by a half in my calculator, 45, and a half multiplied by 360, that is 180. 180, yes, sorry. I had to pause for a minute and think. The same it will be here, 45 and 180. But like I'm saying, we don't have to do that. I can just write everything out. So that means I have angle of 45 plus 360, and here that's the multiplication by 0. So basically making that angle 45, and the same for sin. The problem with that complex number, that form, the problem that we are having here is a lot of writing, isn't it? Repetitive writing. And now we are going back to a rectangular form, so we are taking 4, multiplying by our cos of an angle, and 4 to the power of the half, and multiplying by the sin of an angle. So when we put the first part in our calculator, we're going to get square root of 2 plus I, and then again 4 by the sin of an angle, we're going to get again square root of 2. Now, so we've done n equal 0. Now we are doing n equal 1. Well, how many of them we do? Because our power is a half, therefore I'm looking for 2 roots, yeah? So again, we are going now, that's the first, and now that will be second. So 4 to the power of a half cos, and this time I'm replacing, not 450, 45 plus 360 multiply by 1 this time, plus I sin, and again 45 plus 360 multiply by 1. And again, just a matter of putting that into our calculator. 4 to the power of a half first multiply by the cos of this angle, and we should get minus square root of 2 plus I. And then second time we take that 4, and this time we multiply by sin of that angle, and here we should get minus square root of 2. So minus square root of 2, just to write it all out nice and lovely, minus square root of 2i. So those are the 2 roots. But I, like in fairness, this change when we are going to find the roots of the complex number. So when I don't have W, which is what, base, but I have the power and I have the product, so that means my power dictates the number of the root and I have the product. So I'm going really from this part to finding the base. That is the most difficult part of your complex number calculation.